Good morning, everybody. We're here in Pretoria North today, and we're doing 2 installations today. So we're at the first property now. We're just getting the guys started, and then I'm going to head to the second property. On this first property, we're doing an 8 kilowatt Deye Inverter, and then we're also doing 5 kilowatt hour Greenrich Batteries, and we're doing 10 panels on 2 strings for the customer, and they're all facing nicely north. I'll show you what's happening inside, and then we'll head over to the second property and show what's happening there. So we're just busy unpacking, but we're essentially going to install the system over here. So the customer's main DB is over here, and we are going to put everything on the system. They don't use a lot of electricity. The customers use about 1,200 to 1,500 rand a month, so we should be able to put everything on. The customer's already got a geyser-wise system, so they're already managing the geyser a little bit, and then we're going to use this space over here. So I'll show you a little bit what it looks like. So Fana and Lloyd's already on the roof, so we're going to be mounting on this section over here 2 rows of 5 panels each. So that's going to be 2 strings of 5 panels each, 10 panels, and each panel is 560 watt. So you can see east is over there. The sun is rising at the moment, and then it's a nice north facing roof, and then the sun will be setting behind me. So we'll show you a little bit what it looks like. Hey guys, we're at the second property here. We're in Florana, I think, or Florauna, or however you pronounce it. It's still in Pretoria North. And in this property, we're doing an 8 kilowatt Deye installation as well, with 2 5 kilowatt hour Greenrich batteries. There's already panels on the roof. There was a solar system here installed previously. The customer sold the house, took the inverter and the batteries with him, left the solar panels. So there's 12 panels already here. So we will just be wiring that into our DC combiner box. Let me show you where we've been mounting here. So this is where the previous owner had the system mounted, so we'll be using the same space. There's already AC cabling, 6mm, so that will be fine for the, so we don't have to replace the AC cabling. And as you can see, the 2 strings for the panels is already here. There's no earthing coming down, so we'll just investigate that. There is an earth cable going up there. I don't know if that's going through to the panels. If it does, that's great. And we'll just terminate that and earth it as well to the main earth over there. That's going there. They left it as well. So we will be installing 8 kilowatt here, 2 batteries, DC, AC combiner box will probably go around there, and we'll put the DC over there. There is double trunking here, keeping AC and DC separate, and we'll just cross over here somewhere and put and from the DC combiner box go into the inverter with the 2 batteries over there. But yeah, we'll map the layout now, and then I'll show you the progress a little bit later. Quick update at property 2. So we've got our 8 kilowatt inverter mounted on the wall, and we've got our trunking mounted with our male adapters. And then shortly we will put the batteries on the wall and then start doing the wiring to the AC combiner and then the DC combiner box. And yeah, I'll show you a little bit later what the finished product looks like. Hey guys, we're back at property 1 now, and just a quick update. So we've got both PV strings running to the panels and the earth cable coming down to the combiner as well. We've got our 2-string combiner cabled already or wired already, and we just need to come from there to the inverter. We've got the battery disconnect on, and we're busy putting the brackets on for the batteries. The batteries are ready to be loaded, and then we'll start wiring that. And all Godfrey here is busy on the AC side. So we've got the AC combiner in, the ESCOM plug for the prepaid meters there as well, and we've got all that wired, and the cable is going to the inverter and from the AC combiner into the main DB. We're not splitting any loads here, we're putting everything on the system, and yeah, I'll show you a little bit later. Here we are guys on the roof, so we're just pulling the cables through, and then we'll terminate it onto the MC4 connectors and then to the panels. And here we've got 10 panels, 2 rows of 5 each. Each panel is 560 watts, so we should get a maximum of about 5.5 kilowatt out of these panels. And we did do 2 strings, so if the customer wants to expand a little bit, we can just slap another couple of panels on that side pretty easily. Hey guys, just a quick video before we close. We're close to that stage. So I just want to show you what's going on here. So obviously the 2 strings on PV is coming down. So each string has got its own surge protection, a couple of fuses, and of course the breaker on each string. So just to explain to you guys, when we talk about strings or MPPTs, it means on strings there's a pair of cable, black or red, running to a string of panels. So the string might be consist of 4 panels to 8 panels or 9 panels, whatever it might be. And the limitation on your panels is normally found, let me just check here. If you see on an 8 kilowatt, you see your MPPT input range is about 150 to 425. Now these 560 watt panels, they normally operate about just over 50 volts per panel. So 3 would be the minimum. I would normally suggest 4 per string as a minimum, and then a maximum would be about 8. You can push 9 because with some voltage losses and stuff, 9 panels normally measure at about 400 volts more or less. Obviously once you go to 10 you measure at 440. You won't damage the MPPT necessarily up until you go to 500 volts, but you won't be in an ideal voltage range for the MPPT to work properly. So yeah, my recommendation is always 8 panels, maximum 9 panels per MPPT. These new inverters also operate at 26 amps, so you can parallel inverters, panels, or you can parallel strings, which means your voltages per string will add up, and then your amps will double on the if you parallel. And you can see the connectors are here as well, so you can run essentially four strings, but it's only 2 MPPTs on this 8 kilowatt inverter. But yeah, enough about that. And then obviously from the DC combiner box we're running into the inverter. That's the only thing we still need to do, is just terminate the strings inside the inverter or at the bottom here. And then we've got our 2 5 kilowatt hour batteries mounted already, and that's already communications coming down, earthing is coming down, and obviously going through the battery disconnect into the inverter. And then on the AC side, we've got our surge protection, our ESCOM feed breaker, indicator lights, changeover switch to go between ESCOM and the inverter load, and then we've got our inverter load breaker here as well with the indicator light. ESCOM plug over here for the prepaid meter, and then obviously we are putting everything on the system. So this is the only time you'll actually see us put the CT clamp here. Normally you'll put it on your ESCOM main feed over here, but the space was limited. Normally we'll make a plan and make sure and force it in there, because the CT clamps were the magic lights. But if you put all your loads on the system, then obviously you don't need the CT over there, because the load here would be exactly the same as the ESCOM load side of things. Yeah, so in a second we'll close up, do our testing, switch on, and then I'll show you the finished product. We are solid property 1. We just wanted to quickly show you the earth spikes. So we're coming out of the roof over there, and we came down here. We lifted these paving blocks over here, and then just went underneath them, and then hit the earth spike in here at the bottom. So yeah, that's all done and dusted as well. There we go, guys, all done on property 1. So we've got a 2 Greenrich batteries. It just reached full charge at the moment, so you can see it's not charging anymore. It's a stable light. We've got a battery disconnect, communications, earthing coming down. I did show you the DC combiner and the AC combiner a little bit earlier. We also tested that there's communication on the prepaid meter, and we plugged it in there. And obviously if the customer needs to load any money, they do it over here. And just to give you a quick, it's about, let me see what's the time, it's about 22:02 at the moment. So we're getting about 4.38 kilowatt from the solar panels. The geyser is on at the moment, so you can see there's about a 3.48 kilowatt load on the house, and that's mostly geyser. This customer's got a very nice resting mode of about 200 watts, and then whatever's left on the panels is going towards the battery at 870 watts. That will stop charging probably a little bit. As you can see, it's 99%. And on ESCOM side, you just got a small 20 watt trickle charge, which is completely normal. It's a setting that we do on the inverter itself. Yeah, we've set up the customer's Wi-Fi already, so the dongle's all married to the Wi-Fi router and communicating and getting the data to the app as well. Yeah, that's property 1 all done. We're heading to property 2 now quickly and finish up there, and then we should be done for the day. Hey guys, we're back at the second property, so still a fair bit to do. So we've got the AC cable coming down, which we're just going to terminate in the AC combiner box. The AC combiner box already wired to the inverter. Batteries already mounted, communication down. I see there's still earthing that needs to be done, and then that's how we finish. We're just finishing on the DC side. There's 2 strings. We just tested the DC. It's a 363 voltage per string, so it seems like we should get a decent generation here. And obviously an inverter, and the guys are just on the inside of the house doing the essential and non-essential load splitting. I'll show you the finished product in a little while. Go guys, the second installation of the day, all done and dusted. So I'm going to run through it quickly since we're already done most of it. The 2 batteries are just charging full at the moment. We're also using a bit of ESCOM just to give it its full first charge. We've got our PV combiner box, also 2 strings. The customer didn't actually have 12 panels, they have 18 panels, so we gave the existing panels a quick wash, and then we noticed they've got 8 panels, because when we tested the PV, it was testing at 364 volts, and I was like, no way 6 panels is testing that. So we got on the roof and counted them, it's actually 9 panels per string. Got the battery disconnect, got the AC combiner. Again, we switched up set up the customer's prepaid meter, making sure it's connecting and talking to the ESCOM meter on the outside. Set up the customer's Wi-Fi, already paired and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's about 4:30 at the moment, so we're still getting about 1.44 kilowatt from the panels. That's obviously, and along with ESCOM charging the batteries at the moment at a rate of 3.4 kilowatt, and the home is only requiring about 100 watts at the moment. Yeah, so that is the second installation for the day, all done and dusted. See you on the next one.